Welcome sailors, you're watching Sail Ho Croatia, and we are right now on the incredibly beautiful, fragrant and action-packed island of CRES. The islands of CRES and Lošinj are connected to one of the ancient legends about Jason and the Argonauts and their incredible journey in search for the Golden Fleece. Stick around.
According to the ancient Greek myth, Jason and his gang sailed aboard the Argo ship to the land of the Colchis on the coast of the Black Sea. They had a plan to steal the gold fleece for the king Peleus of Thessaly, as that was a condition for Jason's taking over the throne. The venture succeeded with the help of Princess Medea. But when they headed back, the Olympian gods who were not on their side sent winds that threw them in the opposite direction. The Colchians found out about the theft and went after them. There was nothing left for Jason and his friends to do but turn to the Danube River, then to the Sava River, and sail further through the tributaries. Seeing that they had nowhere to go, they lifted their boat out of the sea, put it on their shoulders, and walked across Istria to Kvarner, where they returned the boat to the sea and continued their escape. The Colchians followed, so upon arriving there was a great battle, from which they came out defeated, and their leader, Apsyrtides, was killed. So the islands CRES and Lošinj were named Apsyrtidi after him. The town of CRES, with its 2,500 inhabitants, is the largest town on the island of the same name. It is located in a bay whose structure provides excellent natural shelter, making it a convenient harbour and a place where ships have taken shelter in bad weather in the past. Such accommodation enabled the development of fishing, seafaring and shipbuilding. The CRES Kaić manifestation is held in honor of the town's glorious maritime past and is aimed at preserving and presenting the traditional way of life of the island as an intangible cultural heritage, raising public awareness of the maritime and fishing heritage and preserving the island's identity. Through education, exhibitions, concerts, entertainment programs and games, one gets a glimpse into how people lived by the sea and from the sea before the appearance of plastic boats and motorboats. Bocce is a game characteristic of the whole Mediterranean and is still very popular in CRES today. The Briscola and Tresete card game tournaments brings to life the atmosphere of some old but fun pastimes. The gallery of the academic painter Mate Solis exhibits works on the theme of the CRES Kaić, kaić being a particular kind of small wooden boat. The Italian community has organized the exhibition models of traditional Adriatic vessels. Of course, all this is accompanied by music from local performers and food for all tastes. The party will last until late into the night. After a splendid and fun first day in CRES, we will devote a little time to healthy lifestyle and explore the beaches of CRES.
Right, Daniel, so apart from being at this gorgeous setting on this beautiful beach, the sea is looking incredible, you also have some proper sports action. Now, what is it that you do?
Hello Marta, welcome to our CRES Outdoor Center. So we have surfboards, kayaking, bicycle tours, rent, bike renting. You can also go with the bikes and we can pick you somewhere where you want with our speed taxi boat.
All right.
Yes, because stress is a little bit difficult for a biker, so they like to like forget them back from this tour. We have also the SUP boards. I do a little school for the beginners. It's 1 hour, so if you want, you can try our SUP board.
Okay, let's do this.
The island of CRES is known for sheep herding and perhaps the best lamb. Various useful and attractive items can be made from sheep's wool. And Vesna Jakic, textile and clothing designer and president of the Ruta Association, will tell us more about this.
Znači, Vesna, dajte nam recite, ovdje na CRES-u specifično je to što postoji, ima jako puno ovaca, jel tako? I koristi se, znači, ta vuna, ali vi ništa ne bacate.
Ovčarstvo je na otoku CRES-u tradicija, ali te ovce imamo uglavnom zbog mesa. Ovce se moraju šišati svake godine, znači ostaje nam ta vuna koja nažalost je neiskorištena, nema njezine prerade i onda ja obilazim ovčare, sortiram vunu, prerađujem je i onda u biti tehnikom filcanja izrađuju se jako puno proizvoda, radimo jako puno projekata s djecom, nudimo radionice turistima kad dođu, to znači da je nama vuna otvorila jedan skroz novi svijet.
I radite stvari od broševa do cijelih haljina ili šatora do nekakvih klompica. Kako je to?
Od vune se može napraviti najjednostavnija verzija da isfilcate uloške i stavite u svoje cipele i onda prepoznate u stvari šta je vuna. Da je vuna izolator i čuva temperaturu vašeg tijela. Ali nekakvim umjećem i kreativnošću vi u stvari možete napraviti od torbi, od šešira, od šlapica i sve. Ovakve stvari, ovakve haljine u stvari su moja struka. Ja jesam dizajner tekstila i odjeće i meni je veliki izazov da eksperimentiram šta se sve s vunom može napraviti i onda radim razne kostimografije i otkrivam nekakve nove projekte i razne suradnike. Tako da, da,
ove haljine na ovim fotografijama izgledaju fantastično, izgledaju potpuno bajkovito. A ovo tu na fotografiji je ova...
To je ova haljina, zanimljiva je priča.
Kako toplo onda?
Vuna je izolator, čuva tvoju temperaturu tijela i ako pogledaš nomadi u Africi i Aziji su obučeni u vunu.
In the Ruta Association, they make almost every garment imaginable, from slippers and bags to hats and coats. And they dye wool exclusively with natural colors, that is, herbs and roots, such as calendula, St. John's wort, yarrow, nettle, walnut, or the crumbled pine bark, with which fishing nets were once dyed. The time is just right to visit a restaurant where we will enjoy the traditional delicacy of the area, Lobster Pasta. Of course, only fishermen and wealthy residents of CRES could afford this delicacy. People here used to eat different variations of pasta with other types of fish, shrimp or shellfish, depending on what the catch was and what was available. The lobster is the most respected and well-known type of crustacean in the world. It should be noted that this term is commonly used in the world to mean the European lobster. However, the spiny lobster, unlike the European lobster, is a crustacean without large pincers and with distinctive long antennae. It can grow up to 40 centimeters in length and 5 kilograms in weight. The Adriatic Sea Lobster on average weighs about 0.6 kilograms. They can mostly be found on rocky bottoms full of holes, especially around Lastovo, Palagruža, Brusnik, Jabuka, and outside of Kornati. The closed season for lobster lasts for more than half a year, so many restaurants freeze them or keep them alive in their own pools.
So, Miss Marta, we're
wow.
serving you today the pasta with lobster. Today we use a kind of pasta bavette. For the sauce, we took out the meat from the shell of lobster, and with all of spices, we make this sauce. So, enjoy our meal with a glass of Malvasia wine.
Thank you so much. I will enjoy, definitely.
Thank you.
How do I eat this? Oh, wow.
It is impossible to feel anything but fantastic in Rovinj. This idyllic town is a magnificent jewel of Istria, captivating your senses with its charm, colors, medieval architecture, and gastronomic offer. Saint Euphemia motherly watches over this former fishing village that has in recent decades made its way to the very top of the Croatian tourist offer. And the ACI Marina Rovinj will fulfill all the wishes and needs of boaters and travelers. Construction works on the most modern and by many the most beautiful marina of nautical tourism in the Adriatic have been brought to an end. The highest standards of design and technological solutions of this beauty make it the elite world destination. We are pleased to announce the news that on Monday, March 25th, the first yacht sailed in for the annual berth in the renovated ACI Marina Rovinj, marking the opening of the new marina. The marina is open to both vessels on an annual berth and vessels in transit. The new marina has in total 196 berths for ships with an average length of 17 meters. The reconstruction of the ACI Marina Rovinj can be described in 4 words: beauty, luxury, innovation, and safety. Today, it is the first ACI Marina of a 5-anchor category. With the most modern infrastructure and attractive appearance, the service at the marina is at the highest level. The world sailing elite has already recognized this, as the ACI Marina Rovinj was the starting point of the world-famous RC44 regatta at the end of May.
I'm here with Jessica, and she knows everything there is to know about organising this Rovinj Cup. So tell us about it.
So we've been invited here by Adris. So this is the Adris 44 Cup Rovinj,
Right.
and we have 9 racing teams here for the weekend to do one design racing in 40-foot carbon racing yachts. So we are here with 9 teams, some of the best sailors in the world, and they're racing against each other on 44-foot carbon fibre racing yachts. They have an owner-driver that's an amateur, and then they have a semi-pro team, so half of them are amateurs, half of them are professionals, and the tacticians are some of the best in the world.
Amazing.
So we have Thomas Lingsby, Ed Baird, Michele Ivaldi, Cameron Appleton. These guys are the best.
And they're all here.
And they're all here, yeah, which is fantastic.
Okay.
And we have 4 days of racing coming up, and we have 3 races a day. So for what we offer some of the most intense racing because the boats are all one design, so the racing is incredibly close. And we offer 3 races a day, so by the end of the regatta the guys are getting loads and loads of racing in, so it's really exciting and it really helps them develop their boat-to-boat sort of tactics.
Fantastic. And what a place to be at. I mean, the Rovinj, this marina,
Yes,
it's amazing.
and the view.
The views are spectacular.
It's incredible. So we first came here, we were invited by Adris in 2011, and in 2012 we had our World Championships. And we've come back this year as part of the opening for the new Maestro Collection Grand Park Hotel Ravine. And it's an honour to be here because the venue is fantastic for light wind sailing, which is really tactical for the guys who really enjoy the change in venue. And it's spectacular. So for our guests, for the guests of the owners, it's a beautiful place to be hosted.
We have arrived on the island of Loshing, where we will explore a wonderful story of a 100-year-old ship at the shipyard in Mali Loshing.
We're at Mali Loshing shipyard, which has a 120 years long tradition of building ships, vessels, which are made of wood and steel. Ferdi, can you tell us more?
Okay, look, this 120 years was a long way to today, where the shipyard exists as a shipyard which renews the vessels in dry docks, paint and something like this. But it's important that it still exists. Here we are in front of one old schooner, which we want to renew as it was 100 years ago. We tried to renew it as it was.
This one is 100 years old?
Something like this.
Right.
We don't know exactly, but something like this.
It's beautiful.
And we are very proud that we can make it and can restore it here in this shipyard, because today it's very difficult to find all the people which can do it.
Right.
The length of this ship is 20 meters and something like 25 meters overall. The masts are high 22 meters, 2 masts with the sails, and in future it is sailed in front of our museum in Mali Loshing, Apoxiomenos, and inside, where was the cargo,
Yes.
it is now an multimedium center which speaks about the roots, foods and way of living on such a ship 100 years ago.
The Mali Loshing Waterfront Palace houses a very interesting and unique museum of Apoxiomenos. It is unique in that there is only one exhibit in this museum. The bronze statue of the young athlete Apoxiomenos is a unique find in the Adriatic as well as in the world. Going through the museum, one is taken through a series of completely different rooms in terms of ambience, visual identity and content, informing visitors and building up the storyline for the climax, the encounter with the statue. An ancient bronze statue of an athlete, 192 centimeters in height, taken from the sea between the islands of Vela Oriula and the island of Loshing on April 27, 1999, is the only large bronze object found on the eastern Adriatic coast so far. He's believed to have ended up under the sea at the beginning of the 1st century, where he was thrown in during severe storms, so as to prevent the ship from tipping over, or a sacrifice to gods for the sake of the safe journey through the Osor Channel to some rich destination in the northern Adriatic. The statue represents a young athlete cleaning his scraping tool with which he has scraped oil, dust and sweat from his body after a competition. During its restoration, which lasted almost 7 years, the materials and the style the statue was built in were examined, and it was concluded to be from the 2nd to 1st century BC. The prototype it was based on is actually much older, dating from the mid-4th century BC. Discovered in Ephesus in 1896. However, the Loshin statue is the most complete and best preserved one. The author of the statue is not known, but its classical beauty and craftsmanship testify to its being done by a master.
So we've just been at the Museum of Anaximenes, and now we're at this amazing local restaurant where you guys serve and prepare so diligently the Anaximenes Loshin cuisine, is that right?
Exactly. For
Tell us what it
13
is.
years in a row, this festivity lasts for a month, and we're trying to reflect the ancient Roman cuisine that has been consumed in time of Anaximenes. So Loshin has never been the island of fruits or some food, but of sailors and captains. And that is why this sour is ancient marinade, which captains have prepared to conserve the fish and seafood on long sea voyages.
Okay.
Coincidentally, it has been served in Roman time. The marinade itself is based on raisins, onion, vinegar, and inside there's a nice little fillet of fish, in this case some nice sea bream, locally caught of course.
Okay.
All the fish that you eat in our restaurant is caught locally by our local fishermen. We have a little tool of the trade, which is called a bit higher margin. We pay the fisherman before he brings the fish to the fish market. He brings it directly
Okay,
to
you
us.
have our special deal, right?
So this is the first course of the fish option, and then the meat option has the chicken pate served with local herbs, spicy local herbs.
I must admit that the ancient Romans knew how to enjoy themselves. This food looks and smells divine. It really is a great idea to present local cuisine in such an interesting and imaginative way. Many restaurants in Mali Loshin have taken on this idea, and you can find out the whole list of places where you can indulge in this kind of food on the Tourist Board website.
Three sports, 2 islands, 1 race. Today's Loshin Triathlon. Eva, tell us more about it.
So the CRES Loshin Triathlon is actually a middle distance triathlon, which means you have 1.9 kilometers of swimming, then you go on a bike for 90 kilometers, and then 21 kilometers of running. So it's a bit adventure, it's a bit not something that you ordinarily see, so that's why we use, like, this is not an ordinary triathlon. We don't repeat ourselves, so the road races in one direction, and you have 2 different zones. So usually in triathlon you have one zone where you change your
gear and your
and
equipment,
everything,
right?
and equipment, and here you have 2 different transition zones. First one is on Porozina, and the second one is actually in Loshin, center of Loshin.
So you've got people from all over the Europe.
Yeah, because it's a bit different considering that we start from the ferry. So the jump to the sea is actually from the ferry. So I think that's something different considering that the triathlon usually starts on the shore, and then you jump into the water, swim across the water, then go out and so on. But here you jump from the ferry, you look at the deep blue sea, and it looks like, wow, amazing, and then you go on your bike, and then you have, like, when you enter port of Porozina, you have like a really huge hill in front of you to finish it, and you're already like tired and everything.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah, and then you enter the Loshin, and it's like still not over.
The island of Loshin has become a favorite destination for athletes from all over the world. Not only those who are into water sports and sailing, but also for some real adrenaline junkies.
I'm here with Sebastian, one of the main organizers of
Junior Downhill Cup Loshin 2019.
All right, tell us more about it.
Yeah, well, it's a race that counts for Junior Cup, which means that it's a race for points for Slovenian Cup and Croatian Cup, and also national championships for Croatia. We had a World Cup race last year, which was fantastic, and again we are a host nation for the next year's World Cup in May.
Right, so next year, World Cup?
Yeah, in May, the 10th of May, World Cup, one of 8 races. It will be the third race in the season. We had, like I said before, really great success last year. Everybody loved the place. Something unique, first time that the race finishes in the harbor. The finish is 300 meters from here, and Red Bull is broadcasting the race live into the world. So really good and big race.
Great stuff. And what about, is it just men, and is it women as well? 'Cause
Women
I saw
as well.
some women competing.
Yeah, this year we only had 1 woman because it's extremely hard race. But on the World Cup there are like 30 women, and yeah, same as men, about 240 men.
Oh, wow.
And really top level riders, super fast, super big. The venue is completely different. We got grandstands, big screens, everything is in like potentially bigger than this race. But, so yeah, we expect a lot of spectators, and hopefully the weather will be sunny.
So who was the winner today?
The winner is Jure Žabjek, is a top Slovenian racer, top 20 World Cup racer also. He won 2 years ago on the same venue, and he had a really fast time today. No contest with the others.
It was 1 minute and 51 seconds.
52.
52 seconds.
52, yeah.
Memorize it.
Yeah.
Brilliant work.
Yeah, really fast. A bit crazy, but super nice guy.
Right, well, I was watching it and it looked pretty extreme. Any injured?
No, one guy crashed heavily, broke his helmet, but he's okay. He walked away, and
Did
that's
he
it.
continue?
No, he finished the race there, but he walked to the finish line. The doctors checked him, and I think he's okay.
Amazing.
Maybe not tomorrow, a bit sore, but it was this year. We are surprised. Basically, no injuries, no work for the doctors, and everything worked out really good.
Well, we've certainly had quite an experience. Our hearts are full as much as our bellies are, and I can only hope you're smiling as much as we are. Until the next time, have a smooth sailing.